Hello and welcome. My name is Nicole Q-Schmitz, and I'm going to be presenting my business, which is Q-Schmitz Home Design and DIY Blog. For those who don't know, a blog is an online website where people create content on a regular basis called blog posts. So it's sort of like having an online diary. I'm in the lifestyle niche of home design and DIY, which stands for do-it-yourself, so that's decor, home renovations, etc. And as far as I can tell, I am the first one in Sudbury. A little bit about me, I'm a freelance multimedia designer and content marketer. I've always loved painting, architecture, interior design, basically anything that I am blogging about now. I also consider myself a self-taught renovator, meaning that I took a few classes here and there, but I'm not actually a professional getting paid to do this stuff. This is kind of what I like to call Renovation Entertainment, which started with HGTV, which is Home and Garden Television Channel. It's since expanded into websites and other brands, and now the owners of the .com and the .ca own other lifestyle brands such as the Food Network or DIY Network, etc. I can definitely consider some of these large media players as my competitors, but who I'm going to be competing against most is going to be other home design bloggers. I can't really give you a number of how many there are because it's such a wide thing all across the world. I do know that on Twitter there is a list for IKEA Canada, and they have about 200 Canadian bloggers on their list, and I myself follow about 20 bloggers around the world in the home design industry. Doing a quick case study, I found a website called Young House Love. I have followed them before. They're no longer blogging. This is a couple who started out just like me, blogging about home design and DIY products, and they were able to grow in popularity so much that they could then release books and also come up with home decor products that they're now selling in large retail markets. I do consider competitive, like other bloggers, as competitors, but I can also consider them as people who I can contribute on their sites and they can contribute on mine. So kind of like competitors, but also potential allies. Who are my customers? I have two main customer segments. The first would be the easiest to understand, which is the readers, people who are going to my blog, reading about what I'm writing, following me, basically anyone who is coming to my site and seeing what I'm doing. But where I'm actually going to be generating my revenue is from businesses. So this is similar to the TV or radio model in that I'm offering free content for something in return. I'd like to work with as many local businesses as possible and anyone in the home renovation industry. In order to attract the businesses, I of course need to have a large follower base. So how do I make money blogging? There are three main types, and I'm going to go over them quickly. The most common is probably going to be display ads, so that's going to be images that you see on the website, and basically whenever my readers click on them or view them, I get paid a certain amount of money depending on how it's set up. There's also affiliate marketing or affiliate links, which is when I would talk about a product or a company, I would put a link on their website or on my website, and then my readers would then go to their website and purchase something. So they wouldn't be charged anything extra, I would just get something back in return for that referral. So for example, Amazon.ca has a model where you get anywhere between 4 and 8.5% back. And I also have Google Apps referral link set up on my website, and whoever signs up for Google Apps from my website, I then get a flat fee back. The biggest way to earn money is through sponsorships. So like I mentioned, I would be working with businesses, and they would give me something in return for writing about them or talking about their products. Obviously, I know that having a lifestyle blog, my sales are not going to be exponential. It really is about growing relationships over time and then slowly raising up my revenues. So here's a quick financial forecast showing my revenues and expenses over the next 3 years. I've also included a line in the center which shows how many viewers I want per month, and this is unique viewers, so not me obviously going to my website 100 times. And then as you can see, the more viewers I have, the more my revenue goes up in the end. So what are some of my startup costs? Having a website, I'm going to have the basic things like domain names, hosting, etc. I did mention I have Google Apps, so that's one of my costs. Some of the variable expenses are attending local events, doing any sort of online courses, or going to conferences, which are usually out of town. So assuming I didn't do any of those three, my costs are around $150 a year, which is pretty low cost. But then I wouldn't be doing anything kind of fun, I guess. So I also didn't include any startup costs in relationship to advertising or marketing. Right now I'm doing everything through word of mouth or organic marketing via social media. For my blog, I've set up a Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram account. And basically I'm posting my blog content onto those channels and then interacting with the followers there, and also people who I'm following to try and gain more followers. I did look into the stats, so if I did want to set up a Facebook ad, I found out that for females between the ages of 25 and 50, which is my exact target market, in Sudbury there are over 9,000 who have specifically mentioned that they like interior design and DIY. So if I do want to create an ad, this is the segment that I'm definitely going to be targeting. And that's kind of, you can see the potential, and this is just in Sudbury. Specifically looking at my Facebook stats right now, I do have more females who are going to my site. You can also see a breakdown of their ages, and then in the back it's showing kind of compared to Facebook overall. So these are the people who have liked my page. I do need to mention that for my blog, I'm having a bit of issues with my referrals and my Google Analytics. So I can't give you an exact number right now of how many people are actually going to my site, but I can do a demographic breakdown, and the graph is showing what their ages are overall, and then as well that I have more female visitors to my website. Now, coming from social media, most of my traffic is coming from Facebook, which is great, except that I know that Pinterest is a really good market for what I'm blogging about. So I really want to expand this market, and I have signed up for an online course specifically to grow my Pinterest reach. For people who are looking to find my website through traditional means, so going into a search engine and typing up some terms, these are some of the things that people are finding my website from. So if people type in building a raised garden bed along fence, it's something that I have blogged about, so my website is coming up in those search results. What's interesting to know about this list here is for Home Show Sudbury 2015, I did attend this event and I did create a blog post about it. For every single person who searched those terms and my website came up in the search results, 100% of them then went onto my website and visited my site and read my blog post. So I can use this data to then maybe approach the Sudbury Home Show next year and say, hey, I did this last year, maybe you guys want to be a sponsor for me this year to blog about your content. Timeline-wise, I launched my blog in January 2015, so just a couple of months ago. By 6 months in, I would like to have at least 250 unique monthly visitors. I'm currently posting twice per week, and it's taking about 10 hours of my time, and that's to take the photos, edit the content, create the content, post to social media, etc. Beyond that, I will be attending a home design conference in July. So that's specifically for home design bloggers, and then it's going to teach you about everything, how to increase your viewers, etc. By the 1-year mark, I'd also like to increase my blog posting frequency by adding another day per week that I'm posting. I'd also like to contribute to other blogs and have maybe people contribute to my blog as well, all to gain more viewers. And beyond that, there's a lot of options. I have had to go over a lot of things in this presentation, so if you do have any questions, feel free to ask. If you don't have time to ask a question or want to chat after, I will be around. Thank you.
Thank you. Kind of a cool idea. So how does it compare? Are you trying to become maybe the Etsy of do-it-yourself?
Etsy is kind of an online store, so I don't want to be an online store. Etsy would be a store for bloggers to go sell their products. So for example, I would create, say, a DIY product, and I could create them and then sell them on Etsy. So I don't want to create kind of like an e-commerce site, but it's more about blogging about the projects that I'm doing, and then maybe even potentially in the future creating products and then selling them through my site or through Etsy.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So when you say creating products, are you looking at manufacturing your own products too?
Yeah, that could be like
okay.
that's a future plan for me.
Okay.
Yes, sorry, like the couple who I mentioned who were blogging, they were able to create, like, I guess they saw a need for some sort of specific product. They have a lighting and a hooks line, and so they released a line under their blog name, and then they could promote it through their blog, and then I believe it was picked up by Target and Home Depot.
So do you get feedback then on what's on your website? Do people tell you, oh my goodness, and you have the best taste ever? Like, should I be checking this thing out too before
Well,
I
you
plant
should,
my
of
garden
course.
this year?
Yeah, so basically, I'm blogging about my own projects in my own house, but I'm also trying to teach people who are going to my site how to do things. You know, I'm not a professional, so it might be intimidating a lot of times to go and ask for professional help, or a lot of times people are going online and researching things. I wanted to kind of make it easy, make it so that anybody can do it. You know, if I'm doing it, you can do it too. Here's what I did, and kind of give people ideas about different projects around their house.
So can you tell how many return people you have?
Yeah, like I mentioned, I do have some sort of issues with my analytics right now. I am getting a lot of traffic from people I know, but it is starting to grow into people who I don't know and other bloggers, so that's good. Most people are like repeats. That's generally how when you have a blog, usually people follow your blog via RSS. So you can kind of sign up for, basically, that's how I follow blogs. I don't actually go in and type like every single blog name. I sign up for all the blogs and I get them, and they come to me and they say, like, these people have posted this week, and kind of check on, kind of like getting emails, but
Now, your
specifically
first
about
couple of
blogs.
years on your projections were negative. I'm hoping your parents are supportive of that.
Well, I also work, like I work full-time, I work part-time as well as a
okay,
freelance
okay.
designer, like I am working. Eventually, obviously, the goal is to
Okay, your
sustain the
parents, your
blog, yeah.
children, your husband, your
Yeah, like,
Your-
it is to sustain myself
and your
through the blog.
followers. It'd
Yeah.
be very cool to have a following.
Have you benchmarked the customers that you want and what rates you'd charge them? This is more around the revenue stream of you know, when you're going to a sponsor or something
Yeah,
like
so
that?
the businesses that I charge, now the one issue I guess with that is that obviously it depends on how many followers you have. So if you only have 2 people going to your website, the businesses aren't going to pay. Same thing with if you want to run a print ad, you know, you want to kind of compare, okay, where am I going to get the most eyeballs for this, or radio ads. So once I get more followers, I can start charging more, but there are kind of some industry-based rates in relation to like the display ads or the sponsorships.
And have you looked at how long it's taken other people that created blogs, how long it takes them to go through that learning curve and startup curve before they start becoming profitable?
For the one that I did have, they blogged for 7 years. I'm not sure where, like, I guess the profit was. It is kind of hard to ask specific questions, but I do know that going to these conferences and talking to other bloggers, this is where I'm going to get this information.
Okay, thank you, Nicole.